Good morning. How's it going, Mary? We're just going to wait another moment or two and see who jumps on. Lisa, how's it going? Welcome, welcome. Allie, good morning. Nice to see everyone. I'm so happy my last 2 weeks where I've kind of been running around hasn't messed up our Thursday morning. We still have a nice group jumping on. So everyone, welcome. You can start to make your way to your mat. And if you're new to our Thursday morning sunrise vinyasa, just a reminder that after class I do share a smoothie or juice recipe with everyone. And I have a new one, a good one today. So if you are thinking about dipping out early, maybe that will entice you to finish out through Shavasana. Welcome, everyone. You can begin to make your way to your mat, finding a comfortable seat so you can sit on blocks. You could sit on your heels. You could cross your legs, or you could bring your feet together and let your knees go wide. And just find a really nice, comfortable position where your bones start to stack. You can kind of move a little bit. In our sunrise vinyasa, usually rather than going into a really deep or going really deep into a particular area of the body, we usually just kind of move in and out of poses because we're a little tight from sleeping. So we're just kind of working our way into our day. So that's where we're headed. Like usual, if you have any particular pose you're dying to practice this morning, let me know now so I can try and incorporate it into our sequence. And we'll get started. Okay, so first, we'll begin with a little breathing. So maybe you're rolling your shoulders back, core is tightening up a little bit so that you're sitting nice and tall. Crown of head is extending towards the ceiling. You feel like your neck getting nice and long. Your eyes begin to close. Breath is deepening. You're beginning to look inward. Let's all breathe together. So coming to the bottom of an exhale, just let all that air go. Press all the air out your nose, out of your nose. And then inhale through your nose, 2, 3, 4. Exhale through your nose, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, try and inhale the entire length of the count. Same with the exhale. Slowly press the air out. Now inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Once more, inhale, filling your lungs all the way up, expanding all the way to the top. And then slowly releasing all of the air out of your nose, pressing, scraping the bottom of your lungs. returning to a natural breathing pattern, allowing yourself to feel a little more relaxed, a little more connected to self, breath, body, spirit. And then I want you to press your palms together at heart center. Bow your chin down into your chest and set your intention. So your intention can be really loose. It could be a dedication, dedicating this practice to yourself because you know you need it so badly. Or maybe you're dedicating this practice to someone else, something else. But just create a dedication. For me, I'm bowing my chin into my chest, dedicating this practice to myself. I've been away on the beach for a few days, feeling awfully stiff, and I'm really excited to just move. Okay, now shooting your prayer hands all the way up overhead. Eyes can open, interlace fingers, flip palms, and just begin to sway from side to side. Feel your side body opening, getting nice and tall and long. Hands come behind your back, fingers point away from you. Take a nice inhale. On your exhale, just walk your hands forward. You may stop right here and be like, ooh, I feel this in my hips and my hamstrings. Okay, that's great. This is where you are. Maybe let your head fall. And then maybe you use your breath. Each inhale, you scooch your fingers a little further forward. Each exhale, you sit back into your seat just a little bit deeper. Spine is getting nice and long here. Taking one more breath in your fold. And then walk your hands all the way back in, rolling up. Shoulders roll back. Shoulders roll forward. Close your knees like a book. Make your way onto all fours. Setting yourself up in tabletop. I just wanted to check in and see who some of our last minute people to join are. Okay, so when you find yourself in tabletop, just make sure your shoulders are directly over your wrists and that your hips are directly over your knees. So just kind of move around a little bit. See if things feel right. Knees should be hips width distance apart. And then I want you just to tuck your toes. As you tuck your toes, you're pressing off of your toes. Pull your head, your chest through your arms. Take an inhale and lift your chest. As you exhale, untuck toes. Round spine, look towards your navel. Use your breath. Tuck toes, a really nice, long, slow inhale. As you untuck, rounding into your exhale. Once more, just like that. Okay, now as you inhale, I want you to bring your feet towards your bottom. As you exhale, allow your legs to come down and then lift your knees, hover. Inhale, feet comes towards bottom, lifting chest. Exhale, rounding, hovering your knees, getting that core going. Let's do two more just like this. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Good. Now circling hips. swaying from side to side, maybe doing some half moons. If you'd like, you want to stretch out your forearms or your shoulders, you can flip your palms so fingers point towards your knees. Sit back towards your heels, take a nice forearm stretch. And then we're going to make our way into downward facing dog. So you can either move your hands 6 inches forward or move your knees 6 inches back. Tuck your toes and lift up. Downward facing dog. Bending one knee, then the other. Now, if you feel like your arms are shaking, you're so weak, chances are you're in a position that looks like this, where you have way too much weight forward. You need to just release, let yourself shift back, head and chest come through your arms, and you work on pressing heels down. A nice way to do that a lot of times is to bend your knees. Most people are in that shape because their hamstrings are tight, right? So this is just the best shape they can make. So if you bend your knees, you take a little strain out of your hamstrings. Okay, now, do the best you can here. Maybe you're not rolling out into a full plank, but you go out as far as you can. Also, know that you can drop your knees at any time. I want you to press into your feet, shift that weight forward, get your shoulders over top of your wrists, plank pose, and then exhale, shift right back into downward facing dog. Inhale, roll yourself out. We're coming into plank pose. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Let's do 2 or 3 more just like that. Roll yourself out. As soon as your shoulders come over top of your wrists, I want you to press back and come right into downward facing dog, okay? So 3 breaths. Now from downward facing dog, I want you to lift your right leg and then bring that right knee towards your nose. Not full connection right now. We're just working on hip mobility, lifting and then bringing that knee towards your nose. And you may really feel this running up and down the left leg, the backside of left leg, bringing your knee towards your nose. Now, the next time you lift that right leg, bend your right knee, stack your hips. Again, you can have a soft bend in that left knee if you're starting to really feel it, the backside of your left leg. Now close your right knee towards your left knee. Step that right foot halfway up your mat. Walk your hands or blocks back. Straighten out both legs. Both sets of feet are pointing forward. Both sets of toes. And you're folding. Bend your right knee, hands return to the top of the mat. Step your right foot back. Now again, roll yourself out, plank pose. Exhale, drop your knees. Lower chin and chest without creating chicken wings, so elbows go back. On your next inhale, untuck toes, pull elbows back. Low cobra. Exhale, just a nice quick stop in child's pose. Feel that lengthened spine. And then you should be able to just keep your hands where they are. Press into hands, tuck toes. Downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your left leg into the air. Left knee comes towards nose. Lifting. Left knee towards nose. Lifting. Left knee towards nose. Okay, this time lift. Bend your left knee, stack your hips, pull that knee towards the ceiling. Pressing right heel down, or if that's just way too much, you can put a soft bend into your, pressing right heel down. And if that's a little too much, soft bend in right knee. Bring left knee towards right knee. Step your left foot halfway up your mat. Walk hands and blocks back towards left foot, folding over 2 straight legs in pyramid pose. Take a few breaths. Now bending left knee, step your left foot back next to right foot. Roll yourself out, plank pose. Exhale, lower knees, lower chin and chest. Inhale, untuck toes, pull elbows back, low cobra. Exhale, take a seat on your heels, child's pose, keep those arms long. And then right back up, downward facing dog. Good, okay, we're gonna move through 5 sun salutations. Okay, so at first, just work on the breathing. After a few, maybe you start to open up a little bit, you're working on your form. Bend your knees, look between your hands. On an inhale, a nice slow, long inhale. Jump your feet to your hands. Lengthen your spine. This is all on the inhale. And then you release your exhale as you forward fold. Bend your knees. Inhale, sweep your arms all the way up overhead. Exhale, slide your hands down into heart center. Inhale, sweep your arms all the way up. This is how Leona does sun pose. And then like she would do, we'll do moon, crescent moon, crescent moon. And then lift your chest. Exhale, forward folds coming all the way down. Inhale, walk or jump yourself back, plank pose. Now if you're moving or transitioning into chaturanga, you can begin, or you can take knees, chin, and chest. Chaturanga, bend your elbows, come down halfway. Inhale, roll over toes. We'll all fully extend arms in upward facing dog. And then roll back over toes, hips high, downward facing dog. Bend your knees, look between your hands. Walk or jump, feet to hands. When you arrive, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Slight bend to your knees. Inhale, sweep your arms all the way up. Exhale, slide your hands down into heart center. Inhale, sweeping. And then exhale, crescent moon, crescent moon. Lifting chest. Take a forward fold, coming all the way down. Walk or jump yourself back, plank pose. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Bend your knees. Inhale as you walk or jump feet to hands. Lengthen. On your exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sweep arms all the way up. Now this time as you exhale, right from here, just forward folds and come all the way down. Inhale, walk or jump back, plank pose. And then exhale into chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. I'm starting to feel a little bit more open. Bend your knees. Inhale, top of the mat. Lengthen spine. Exhale, take your forward fold. Inhale, sweeping arms all the way up. Exhale, fold forward, coming all the way down. Inhale as you make your way into plank. And then exhale as you make your way into chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Okay, we have one more to go. Inhale, make your way to the top of the mat. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sweeping arms all the way up. Exhale, forward folds coming all the way down. Inhale, plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Drop your knees down to the mat. Sit back on your heels. Take a few breaths right here. Now make your way back onto all fours. So we're back where we were when we were doing cat-cow. And we're moving a little bit. I want you to notice how you feel now. Shoulders, chest, core, hips. Okay, good. Now extend your left leg straight back. Toes point down. Tighten your core. See it lift. Right arm reaches forward, thumbs up. And just stay right here. Right hand comes down, left knee comes down. Right leg is going straight, left arm is reaching forward. Tighten that core. And release left hand, right knee comes down. Okay, now we're going to do a little crunching. We're bringing elbow and knee together. Left leg's reaching back, right arm is reaching forward. One nice long line of energy. On an exhale, bring your elbow and knee together underneath. Inhale, re-extend. Exhale, elbow and knee come together. Once more, inhale, extending, and exhale, rounding and connecting. Then extend to complete that set. Bring right hand down, left knee comes down. Right leg is extending, left arm is reaching. On an exhale, elbow and knee come together. Inhale, extend. Exhale, round and connect. Inhale, extend. Exhale, rounding, extending to complete the set. Left hand comes down, right knee comes down. We're making our way back up into downward facing dog. So scoot your hands or knees forward or backward so you have a really nice space in between your wrists and your toes for downward facing dog. Now I want you to bring your heels together and just bend your knees. So your knees are splaying open. You're looking back at a diamond. Heels are connected. Shift your weight back. And then walk your hands back. Let those knees go open nice and wide. So go just as far as you can. You may find yourself right here. That's good. Okay? Or maybe you're all the way with your hips down towards your heels. Remember, this is a hamstring stretch. Your hamstrings are, really, really delicate. You can pull them easily, so you have to be careful when you're stretching hamstrings. Come back into downward facing dog. To do a little twisting, walk your hands back towards your feet just a little bit. You may notice your heels come down. Right arm is crossing underneath of your body, grabbing the outside of left calf, and then you're bending that right elbow, looking under left arm. If you can't do down dog with one arm, that's okay. I just want you to look under that left arm anyway, okay? So you're creating a little twist here. And then bring right hand back to the top of your mat. Left arm's reaching through, grabbing the outside of right calf, creating a little twist. Okay, cool. And we're gonna do a little sequence here. Roll yourself out, plank pose, shift back, downward facing dog. Rolling out, plank pose, shift back, downward facing dog. Now roll yourself out, plank pose, drop your right knee, extend your left leg and left arm's reaching up just for a breath here. And then left hand's coming down, left knee's coming down, right back up, downward facing dog. Roll yourself out, plank. Shift back, downward facing dog. Roll yourself out, plank. Shift back, downward facing dog. Now this time when you roll yourself out, drop that left knee, extend your right leg, right arm reaches into the air, knee down, side plank, and then right hand comes down, right knee comes down, downward facing dog. Roll yourself out, plank pose. Exhale, downward facing dog. Coming back into plank. And then coming back into downward facing dog. Come back out, plank pose. Right knee drops down. Left leg goes out, left arm reaches up. If you want a shoulder stretch, bend to that left knee, reach left arm back. Kick foot into hand. Also a major chest opener. And a nice quad opener right to the front of that thigh. Extend left arm, left leg. Bring left hand, left knee down to the mat. Tuck your toes, downward facing dog. Now roll yourself out, plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, plank pose. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, roll yourself out, dropping left knee, lifting that right leg, right arm. You can bend your right knee if you'd like. Reach arm back. It's okay if you don't connect. Still really nice chest and shoulder opener. And release. Downward facing dog. Inhale, roll out, plank. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, plank. Exhale, down dog. Okay, this time, if you want to drop your knee, you're going to move in to side plank with your knee down like we just did. If you'd like to move into a traditional side plank, then you're going to follow along. Inhale, roll yourself out, plank pose. Then just rotate onto the outside of right foot, inside of left foot. Side plank, left arm reaches into the air. Bring left hand down. Press back, downward facing dog. Inhale, roll yourself out. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, plank. Exhale, down dog. Okay, here comes left side. Roll yourself out. Any variation you want, you can take it. Otherwise, rotate onto the outside of left foot, inside of right foot. Right arm reaches into the air. And then bring that right hand down. Downward facing dog. Roll yourself out, plank. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, plank pose. Now exhale, drop your knees to the mat. Sit back on heels. Child's pose. And you're breathing. Okay, you can make your way up onto your heels. Just checking to see who's joined. Hi, Christy. Okay, so we're sitting on our heels. Knees are pressing down. Rolling shoulders back. Rolling shoulders forward. Now try and separate them backwards. And forwards. Arms are sweeping up. Interlace fingers, flip palms, sway from side to side. Release. Bring your hands down into heart center. Bow your chin down into your chest. Close your eyes. And reconnect back with that intention. Thumbs are pressing into your heart. Who did you dedicate this practice to? How are you feeling? If you're like me and dedicated this practice to yourself, how are you feeling now, 20, 30 minutes in? Feeling like you can breathe a little more. You're less foggy, your body's a little less tight. I want you just to stay connected to that intention. Allow that to continue to be the root of your practice. And then bring your hands down to the top of your mat. Make your way back, downward facing dog. Okay, inhale, right leg is lifting. Right knee is coming towards nose. You're rounding. Maybe you're going a little deeper this time. Inhale, right leg is lifting. Exhale, rounding. Once more, lifting. Now this time you're going to round, round, round. And see if you can step that foot. If your foot comes short, say you can't step your foot all the way through, let your foot come down. Bring that right arm behind that right knee. And help jump it forward so you have a really nice long space between your right heel and your left toes. And then just move. Straighten right leg, bend right knee. Straighten right leg, bend right knee. So you're moving forward and backward. Now the next time you find yourself forward with your right knee bent, I want you to spin that back heel down. You can climb up right thigh if you'd like and come into warrior two. Come into one of our standing positions. Gazing over top of your right fingers. And then we're just going to go back and forth here. Straighten out right leg, arms come up overhead. Spin that right foot in and then turn your left foot out, warrior two to the left side. And then arms come up, straighten leg, spin foot in, and exhale, warrior two, right side. So just find yourself getting comfortable with this motion on your inhale, and then on your exhale. Inhale, spin that foot in, and exhale, warrior two. Okay, now staying on the right side, straighten out your right leg. Reach that right arm forward. Slide your right hand inside of your right calf. Left arm reaches up. Your gaze is up over your left hand. And then bring your arms up overhead. Spin that right foot in. Spin your left foot out. Open your arms up. Reach. Slide your left hand down on the inside of that left calf. Right arm reaches up. So if you're using blocks, put one block at the front of your mat and one block at the back of your mat. And then arms can reach up. Spin that left foot forward. Spin your left foot in. Right foot turns out. Now let's connect. We have warrior two. 2 breaths. And then triangle pose. 2 breaths. And then arms up overhead, spinning your feet. Left side, warrior two. 2 breaths. Triangle pose. Tuck that left hip under. 2 breaths. And then make your way up. Spin that foot in, arms come up overhead. Warrior two to the front of the mat. Triangle pose to the front of the mat. Now fold your left arm down your back. Roll that left shoulder back, reach your right arm forward. 2 breaths. Still in triangle pose. The shape should feel the same. And then bend your right knee. Reverse your warrior. 2 breaths. And then straighten out that left leg. Arms come up overhead. Spin your right foot in. Straighten out your right leg. Warrior two to the left, so the back side of your mat. 2 breaths. Triangle pose, straighten out left leg. 2 breaths. Folding right arm down your back. Roll that right hip and right shoulder back. Maybe extend your left arm forward. 2 breaths. Bend your left knee, reverse your warrior. 2 breaths. Arms come up overhead. Spin that left foot in. Now open up your arms like airplane wings. Look at me the whole time you fold. So let your head be the last thing to come down. And then come into a forward fold. If you have a headstand practice and you want to pop up, feel free. Create that tripod. Your hands are behind your head, so your head is the top of the triangle. If you are inverted, make your way back down. Now I want everyone to walk their hands forward. Keep your hips keep your hips back at the same distance as your ankles, okay? So you don't want your hips to come forward. Just your arms. This is a major chest and shoulder opener. And then let your chest and head come through like a hammock. Now walk your hands towards right foot. Bend right knee. Army crawl over towards left knee. Army crawl back over right knee. Start to kick back the opposite foot. So as we bend left knee, I'm kicking back right foot. Okay, now straighten out both legs. Bring your hands directly underneath of your nose. Press your left hand down. Right arm is peeling open, twisting. So your spine should be nice and long here. Hips are back where your ankles are. And then your hands are directly underneath of your nose. Inhale, left arm's reaching. Left hand comes down. Walk your hands back. Reverse swan dive all the way up. Heels come in. Bend your knees. Drop into goddess pose. Try and get your hips to come down in line with your knees. Try not to lean forward. Keep those shoulders back over top of your hips. And if you'd like, you can cactus your arms here. And again, I don't like to go too deep and hold in morning vinyasa. We're all tight. So let's come up. Arms can extend. And let's do reps instead. Exhale, drop back down. Slowly again, this is your hamstrings. Maybe they're starting to open up a little more. Inhale, stretching, and exhale, dropping in. Now, right from here, I just want you to spin that right foot, left foot, cartwheel your hands towards your right foot, step your right foot back, exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. 3 breaths here. Just gonna come over and see if anyone's left me any comments. Okay, just thumbs up, so that's a good sign. Great. Again, if there's any poses that you're like, oh, I really hope she goes here, just pop them into the comments section. Okay. Downward facing dog. Inhale, lifting right leg into the air. Bring right knee to nose. Round. Inhale, extend. If you're able to touch knee and nose, see if you can roll yourself all the way out with shoulders over wrists. And then touch. And then the third time, you're going to bring it forward. Step your foot in between your hands again. If it's short, right arm goes underneath the right knee. Guide it along. Getting yourself a nice long stance here. Then drop your left knee down onto the mat. Untuck your left toes. Inhale, Anjaneyasana. Lifting heart and chest. Then exhale, hands come down. Tuck your left toes. Shift back, pyramid pose. Straighten out that right leg. Bend your right knee. Come back up, warrior two. Towards the front of your mat. Flip your right palm, reach up and back, reverse. Come back into warrior two. Then take that right hand. So you may want to watch this transition rather than listen. I try and cue, but this one's a little tougher. Right hand's going to go under, spin your feet like we've been doing, and you come right into high lunge towards the back of your mat. And then drop your right knee down to the mat. Untuck right toes, Anjaneyasana, left side. And then bring your hands down to the top of your mat. Tuck your right toes, straighten out left leg, pyramid pose. Bend your left knee, spin that right heel down, warrior two. Flip your left palm, reverse your warrior. And come back to warrior two. Left arm comes down, spin your feet, and here we are, high lunge at the top of your mat. Now we're going to do that sequence one more time on each side. Drop your left knee down to the mat. Lift your heart and chest, Anjane. Bring your hands down to the top of your mat. Tuck your left toes, straighten out that left leg, straighten out right leg. Nose and knee are coming together. Bend your right knee, spin that left heel down. Warrior two. Flip your right palm, reverse your warrior. And then just connect. As you come forward, keep that arm circling, high lunge, spin your feet to the back of your mat. Right into the second side of the series, drop your right knee down, Anjaneyasana. Bring your hands down to the top of your mat. Tuck your right toes, straighten out left leg. Pyramid pose. Warrior two is where we're heading. Bend that left knee, rise up. Reverse your warrior. And then let that left arm just keep moving counterclockwise. High lunge, top of your mat. Bring your hands down to the top of your mat. Step your right foot back. Take your vinyasa. Drop your knees down to the mat. Sit back on heels, reconnect with breath, intention, spirit. Okay, and then we're coming back to sit on our heels. Rolling shoulders back. How's everyone feeling? Rolling shoulders forward. So when we retreat, we usually do 2 yoga classes per day, then separate your shoulders. And the first one, the morning vinyasa, is a little more vigorous. We move, we move, we move. And then the second class, maybe it's restorative, or maybe it's a deeper vinyasa. We go a little deeper the second time during that day. Arms are going to sweep up, interlace fingers, split palms. So you save that really deep practice, whatever it's going to be. It could be, restorative is deep. We hold the poses for a long time, even though we use pillows and padding. So you save those really deep practices for after you've moved about a little bit throughout the day. Slide your hands down into heart center, bow your chin into your chest. Okay, make your way back up, downward facing dog. Right leg is lifting. Right knee comes towards nose, rounding, rounding, rounding. Extending right leg, and then rounding, bring that knee to nose. Once more, extend. Now this time you can bring it towards nose, but I want you to step your right foot behind your right wrist, so it's on the right side of your mat. Okay, and then I want you to just play around. Same thing like pyramid pose, straightening out that right leg, bending right knee. You can move your hands onto blocks. And then the next time you find yourself bending right knee, drop your left knee down to the mat. If you'd like to go for a twist, right arm reaches back. Maybe bend your left knee and grab for that left foot. Your gaze can be up over your right shoulder. Release, right hand comes down. Heel toe that right foot across your mat. Right knee drops down, slide your left knee back. Find your way into half pigeon pose. Maybe put a block underneath of that right hip. And then I want you just to let yourself release. Hip openers are deeper when you let your body get heavy. And then take a seat on that right hip. Right foot is sliding into the inside of your left thigh. Reach that left arm down towards left foot. Right arm reaches up and over. Maybe it's also grabbing your foot. And you're taking a reverse grip. So you're finding that length all up and down this right side body. Rise up, counter twist. Now, like we've been doing in class, we're going to flip 180 our mat for the second side. So if you used your blocks, now's a good time to bring those blocks to the back side of your mat. But because of the shape our body is in right now, we're actually gonna go backwards through the sequence. So I'm just going to fold that left knee, okay? And then I'm gonna turn my right hip so that I start right here in pigeon pose on the left side. And we're coming right down, getting heavy. Coming up onto your hands or onto your blocks. You can bring your hands to your blocks right now. Tuck your right toes, lift that right knee, and see if you can get your left foot outside of your left wrist. Right knee can drop back down. You could stay right here. Or maybe you're bending that right knee, left arm's reaching back. Grabbing right foot. Release. Bring that left hand down. Tuck your right toes. And then left leg's going up and back. Left knee is coming towards nose. Left leg's going up and back. Left knee is towards nose. Once more, up and back. Bring it towards your nose. And then just step that left foot next to your right foot. Press your heels down and walk your hands back towards your feet. We're going to take a standing forward fold. If your hands aren't touching the mat with your legs straight, straighten out your legs and just grab for elbows here. Now bend your knees, sweep your arms all the way up overhead. Slide your hands down into heart center. And then I want you to come into our standing rest pose, Tadasana. Eyes can close. I want you just to take a minute here, pressing those heels down, feeling the earth beneath your feet. Maybe feel your body kind of swaying or balancing on your feet. Your legs are active, calves all the way up through your thighs. Core is nice and tight so that you're not bowing your back. Shoulders are rolled back. Crown of head is extending towards the ceiling. Slide your palms into heart center. Bow your chin down into your chest. Returning back to intention for reason for being here. And I'm going to leave you right here, ready to walk off your mat, start your day, feel alive. Thank you for joining our Thursday morning sunrise vinyasa. I'll see you again right here next week. Namaste. Okay, I just want to share my juice recipe with those of you who are still on. So while I was away, my mom came up and stocked my fridge with all kinds of farmers market fruits and vegetables. So this morning, and I feel like this is something a lot of people have right now, strawberries. So this morning we're going to do a strawberry cucumber smoothie. Okay, so you're just going to take the tops off of your strawberries, maybe cut them in half, put them in your food processor. I would start with maybe a cup of strawberries and start with a half of a cucumber. You can always increase that to a full cucumber. Although, when does something ever taste too strawberry-y, right? So you should probably be good. I'm going to incorporate a little ginger today, so I like to just cut off a small piece of ginger, pop it into the food processor. If you feel like it turns out too gingery, just add back maybe a little more cucumber, a little more strawberries. So maybe don't go through your full supply when you begin. I'm also going to put a spoonful of honey in this smoothie. You probably can tell just from hanging out and being with family, my voice is a little hoarse, so I'm gonna add a little honey. If your strawberries are frozen, perfect for this recipe. If they're not frozen, you'll probably have to add some ice. Put some almond milk in just to give it that smoothie texture. And I would love to see those of you who make this. Shoot me a picture, tag me in a post. Enjoy the rest of your day. Namaste.